Hey guys, so we finally have 16 teams in the weekly final. I've got some great info for you this week, so if you haven't voted yet, it's time to sit up straight and pay attention. First off, the prize money rankings have changed again. 4 Angry Men, the winners from the weekly final week 2, were in first place in the standings with $113,894, including crowdfunding. But that's probably going to change after this weekend, since the first place 4 Angry Men and the second place Infantry had failed to advance to the weekly final. And this week's weekly final is worth $100,000, so whoever comes out on top will have a great shot at the top of the prize rankings. So, who's going to win PGI.S and walk away with the most prize money? Let's check it out. Here's a look at the current status of the Pick'Em Challenge. Over 665,000 of you have participated in the weekly final Top 4 Pick'Em Challenge so far, and as of midnight KST on February 26th, the teams with the most votes were 4 Angry Men in first, Gen.G in second, Shoot to Kill in third, and Infantry in fourth. 4 Angry Men received the most votes in the Pick'Em Challenge Week 3, supported by 302,507 people, which is about 45.4% of the total votes. On Erangel, 4 Angry Men and Digital Athletics continually competed for the same landmark. In the process, they were often either wiped out or started the game with a loss. On that last day, Godv, their anchor, was absent due to health issues. So in the end, the team with the most support, 4 Angry Men, was eliminated without a single chicken dinner throughout the weekly survival. Infantry, who placed fourth by receiving 60,902 votes, which is about 9.1% of the total votes, also failed to advance to this week's weekly final. Week 3 was a roller coaster. Out of the 16 teams who advanced to the weekly final by fighting through all sorts of struggles, who's going to be in the top 4? Let's break down 4 of the most notable teams in this week's weekly final. If you haven't made up your mind yet, how about voting for one of these notable teams in the weekly final? Gen.G family. Gen.G are looking great and have successfully made it to the weekly final 3 times in a row, but the journey to winning the first match in week 3 wasn't easy. Pyo was eliminated very early on, and then they met Ents and Oath at the same time before escaping the blue zone. Gen.G kept it together, adjusted their strategy for 3 players, but then they lost Loki along the way. In the end, Esther and Anonix had to face a Freak of Freaks and Infantry all by themselves. In that 4v2v2, they clinically eliminated Infantry first, and then obliterated the Freak of Freaks, a full squad, to win the chicken dinner. Anonix just does not miss, and has looked amazing since week 2. What do you guys think? Are Gen.G gonna put up another amazing performance in this week's weekly final? One thing's for sure, if you come at these games, you best not miss. Our next team has come in second so many times. Zenith were starved for a victory and definitely showed up in match 6 of the week 3 weekly survival. Although 2 players got knocked while wiping out Multi-Circle Gaming on the Rock, they were able to keep everyone alive since Kickstart eliminated Multi-Circle Gaming for them. Zenith also rolled over Sonics, taking them out with just frag grenades, occupied the high ground, and instantly set attack all around to the next lobby. They finally won a chicken dinner after fiercely eliminating Global Esports Exet at the end. So in week 3, day 2, match 6, they secured the bag of $2,000 and became the second team to advance on to the weekly final. They even scored 22 kills in the weekly survival, which was the most kills of all time. Although Infantry had 24 kills in PCS2 Asia, this sets the record for a global tournament. Among these teams, Kickstart has put up some insane shots too, securing 11 kills. I wonder what kind of new record Zenith is going to set in this week's weekly final. Week 3 weekly survival, match 7, really showed off T1's strategy, and the Blue Zone gods were definitely on their side. In the middle of the game, T1 was lying in wait, and the circles really came out in their favor. They occupied tall buildings and defended against other teams from every angle. The circles just kept shrinking in their favor over and over again. Adder wiped out FaZe Clan when they tried to break into the circle. Dangche made a snap decision to go up to the roof of the building and took out Untitled Esports. Adder, with a hot hand, finished them off and finally won T1 the chicken dinner that they've wanted so much. Using DBS was a big brain move. The T1 train has really been picking up speed. Are we going to see T1 continue to dominate in this week's weekly final? The last team that we need to look at is Tiamba Esports from China. They were considered a strong contender, but they've continued to slump this week. In match 13 of the Week 3 Weekly Survival, Tianba Esports occupied the gas station. They wiped out Digital Athletics, who were moving uphill into the circle. In the last top 4, 3 Chinese teams were left standing. Tiamba Esports eliminated 4AM, who was in first place in Week 2, and came out on top in the engagement between Buriram United Esports and Infantry. Even though they were in a weak position, Lorena's surprise attack eliminated Infantry, and they were finally able to advance on to the weekly final after 54 games. Tianba Esports have finally found their way out of their slump, and now, in this week's weekly final, they finally have a chance to match against the team that they've been longing to face, Gen.G. So are you excited for the Week 3 weekly final yet? So, have you made up your mind? Who are you going to vote for this week? Whoever you pick is definitely going to come through for you, right? Oh, and you guys know that there's a Pick'Em Challenge for the weekly Kill Point MVP this week, right? At midnight KST, February 27th, a total of 222,660 people have voted for the weekly Kill Point MVP. And the teams with the most votes are 4 Angry Men, Shoot to Kill, Gen.G, Infantry, and the Afrika Freaks. But it was Zenith who won a chicken dinner with 22 kills, wiping out a third of the players, and LG Divine, who came from the bottom 16 and put up 19 kills and a chicken dinner in 4 games. So make sure to pay attention to them too in this weekly final. You know that if you get the weekly Kill Point MVP team correct, you can earn 200,000 EP, right? Voting closes at 7 p.m. on Saturday in Korean Standard Time, so don't forget to get your votes in before then. Oh, and there's another event that you can't forget about this week. It's predicting the winner of the event match, which will be held from March 5th to the 7th. The Pick'Em Challenge from February 27th at 7 p.m. to March 6th at 7 p.m. KST is a free event that anyone can vote in. If your prediction is correct, you'll get 50,000 EP, so you basically have to participate, right? Good luck with your predictions, and I'll see you back here again next week.